Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen, where I guide you through creating a little piece of art using the Zentangle method of drawing. Today I'm using a micron 05 pen, a graphite pencil for shading, and a tortillion for blending. I'm also using a 2-inch by 2-inch tile called the Bijou tile, and these are available at Zentangle.com. Feel free to use any writing utensil you have and any paper or little tiles that you have. It'll work on anything. Okay, today I'm going to start with my pencil. So most Zentangle tangles are very easy, very repeatable. It makes you feel calm, successful. They're pretty easy to do. This one, however, is a little bit more complicated, and it took me several tries to get this correct. So I'm hoping to break it down for you enough that it's sort of simple for you, and then you can repeat it and practice it a little bit more later. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a grid, and I'm going to put a horizontal line across the center, nice and light with my pencil, and a vertical line the other way. And then in this upper right hand quadrant, this is the center, you know, where the corner is, and I do not want to cut this in half. I want to do it into thirds. So I'm going to go to the left of that a little bit and put a line in and to the right of that. So I made 3 triangles. Same thing over here. I want to go a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. We're never looking for perfection in Zentangle, and the more you do this, you will realize you don't need this grid. But again, I wanted to help your brain follow along today. So separating each one into thirds, and then basically what happens is this line matches this one. You know, you can kind of see how those line up. Okay, so now we're going to draw a circle in the middle, and I'm going to make it maybe a little bit smaller than a dime. So I'm just making a little circle. I like doing this with pencil, just so I know where I want it. Okay. At this point, we're going to switch to pen, or I'm going to switch to pen. You're welcome to keep on doing this in pencil because it might be your first time. But I'm going to switch to pen, and before I do, I want to show you on a piece of paper what we are going for. Okay, so basically we're going to have this circle, you know, the outside edge of a circle, and we're going to be making these little seed pods around the circle. And then in between the seed pods, we're going to be putting some in between the two small, or in between the two on the bottom, we're going to have one hovering up on top, okay? I'm going to take you through this really quickly so we can get back to the tile. But what we're going to do is we're going to go from the bottom of these seed pods and come around and aura the pod on the left-hand side. After we do that, we're going to start at the top up here and aura around. And then this one is going to come out here as if it's connecting to that. And then the bottom of the pod over here is going to come out like that. I'm sorry, there will be a line there. Anyway, it's going to look like this sort of a ribbon effect. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top of my circle by making a little seed shape, and I'm going to skip a line and put a seed over here. Skip a line, put a seed. It's basically just the letter C and then a backwards C. Make sure you skip a line, skip a line, I'm also going to trace my circle. Okay, we end up with this sunshine looking shape, or it kind of looks like a turtle, and we should have 6 seed pods. And now I want to put a seed pod in between each pair, but up here towards the outside edge of my tile. Now looking at this, I can tell my line goes a little too far that way, and I really want my seed to be directly in between it. So I'm going to put one right there. In between these two, right on my line there. In between these two. Those. And my last one. It's the only one that I kind of moved off my line a little bit. And mine are a little bit different sizes, and they're, you know, different distances from the middle, but it's okay. Okay, now we're going to try to get that ribbon effect. So to do that, I'm going to start with this upper left-hand seed, and I'm going to put my pen on the bottom of the seed. And I'm going to do this wavy, kind of a backwards S shape, and it's going to come down in aura on that side. I've got a little space between those. Take this seed and I'm going to come down in aura to the other side. Come down in aura to the other side. Starting at the bottom, aura. Again, it's kind of that backwards S shape. I'm turning my tile as I go because it's more comfortable to draw that way. All right, step back and take a look at it. It should kind of look like a dancing sunshine. So cute. Okay, so here's where we start making that ribbon. And to do that, I'm going to start at the top of the seeds that are attached to the circle. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to imagine this little ribbon shape coming up and around. So I'm going to start at the top, I'm going to aura, and then I'm going to come down and land a little ways away. I'll show you that again. Start at the top of the seed, following that all the way around, and then landing a little ways away from that seed. Start at the top of your seed, up and around, and stop. We kind of want this to be about the same width as the ribbon over here. Start at the top. Start at the top. I've got one more to do. Okay, still looks like it's dancing. So cute. All right, so now we need to make these ribbons come down and go over the next seed. So I'm gonna go, you know, I started at the top of this and I went up and around, and then I stopped when I hit that little ribbon. Now I'm gonna jump and come through, and I want it to look like it's going to connect to the other side of this seed shape. So I'm kind of coming down, jump, come across as if it's meeting right there. And then I'm going to take the inside of this seed, act like it comes out over here, jump, and come down this side. See how I made that little ribbon? All right, next one. That line that I made that came and stopped down here, I'm going to continue that as if it's meeting this seed. And then on top of it, it's coming down and around. So that left-hand line over here, come out as if it's going to meet this line. Come out over here and aura. Come out and meet the line. Come out, jump, and aura. Again, I've played with this one many times, so if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. Isn't that so cute? So that is Ratoon, just like that. You can just do that over and over, play with it. You can play with how many seed pods you want, as long as you're putting, you know, the outer ones in between them. But now I want to enhance it a little bit. And if you look online, there are so many great ways to play with this tangle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting an aura on the inside, just because I like how that line mimics that ribbony type feel. And then in between each of these little seed pods, I'm just going to put a little circle. Some of mine are further apart than others, that's okay. And I'm going to color those in, but leave a little white, a little bit of like maybe a reflection. Just like that. On each of those. And then just for fun, I'm going to put an aura around each one. There are so many fun things you can do to this tangle. Okay, and then on the inside of this circle, I'm just going to put a little bit of a reflection. And then I'm going to pick up my pencil and we're going to do some shading. And to shade this one, I'm going to start with this area in the middle, and I'm just going to put a little bit of graphite on this left-hand side. Just like that. And then in each of these little seed pods, I'm going to put a little bit on the left, turning my tile. I'm doing the ones along the circle and the outside ones. Just a little bit right on that left-hand side. And then I can also put a little bit each time a ribbon goes over another ribbon. So this ribbon goes over. So on the outside of that, I'm going to put just a tiny bit that I can push out later. And right here, this ribbon goes over that one. So I want to put the shadow on the outside of that upper ribbon. So this one, you know, as if the ribbon underneath has a little shadow as it tucks under there. Okay. All right, and then I take my tortillion, go back to the beginning here, and I'm just going to spread out that little bit in the middle. And then I'm just going to soften. I'm going very quick now so I can keep this in the 15 minutes. But I'm just softening each of those little interiors and then each spot where those ribbons cross over. And I see a spot that I missed. Just that little bit of shading makes this look so elegant. I love it. Okay, and then I don't typically use an eraser, but I do want to erase these grid lines just because they're not needed anymore. And you do not need to make a grid when you make Ratoon. I just wanted you to see how those are spaced out. But sometimes just the magic of where those areas land and it being uneven is just as pretty. All right, remember to initial your work and then on the back write a journal entry and date your work. Thank you so much for joining me. Have fun.